In today's video, I'm going to go over 4 steps you should take when you feel like you and your wife are drifting apart. What's up guys, my name is Justin and welcome back to the channel. We've all been there before. We get past the honeymoon phase in our relationship and that spark that we used to have seems to have fizzled out. Or it's been a few years since we've set our I do's and you notice you and your wife aren't as close as you used to be, or worse, you can feel the two of you are drifting apart. At times, the drift is so subtle, you don't even realize it's happening. And drifting is never intentional. It gradually happens over a period of time. If you feel like you are far apart from your wife, here are 4 steps to help close the distance and help you get back on track. The first step is you need to confront it. When you notice you two are drifting apart or have already drifted apart, you need to act quick and confront the issue. One thing this reminds me of is there's this hilarious part in the movie Dumb and Dumber when Harry and Lloyd find themselves in Nebraska instead of Aspen.
Here you go, way too fast. Don't slow down, you're gonna crash. You should watch your step. Don't.
Hey! I was wondering when you were gonna get up. Huh. I expected the Rocky Mountains to be a little rockier than this.
I was thinking the same thing. That John Denver's full of shit, man.
I'm only human, Harry! Anybody can make a mistake. Come on! Stop being a baby! So we backtracked a tad. A tad? A tad, Lloyd? You drove almost a 1/6 of the way across the country in the wrong direction! Now we don't have enough money to get to Aspen, we don't have enough money to get home, we don't have enough money to eat, we don't have enough money to sleep! Well, it's not gonna do us any good to sit here whining about it. We're in a hole. We're just gonna have to dig ourselves out.
Okay, all right, you're right. You're absolutely right, Lloyd.
Where are you going?
Home. I'm walking home.
Oh, well, pardon me, Mr. Perfect! I guess I forgot that you never ever make a mistake! Harry! Harry! Wait out! Got room for one more if you still want to go to Aspen.
Where did you find that?
Some kid back in town. Traded the van for it, straight up. I can get 70 miles to the gallon on this hog.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
It wasn't on purpose, it was a mistake. They argued, they sold the van, and found a way to get back on track. They pivoted. If you think you are drifting, like Harry and Lloyd, you have to confront it and change direction. Confronting it is telling yourself that something is not right. It's acknowledging the distance between you and your wife. A pivot may hurt, it may cause an argument on the side of the road, but unless you pivot, you'll continue to drift. So once you've acknowledged that you two have drifted, the next step is to find the source. Until you identify the source of the drift, you will continue to put distance between yourself and your wife. It is important that you take a real hard look at your current situation to determine what may be causing the drift. Are you both lacking some one-on-one time? Is one of you working more than usual? Are you spending more time with your friends? Is she spending more time with hers? If you take some time to really understand what is going on, you'll figure out what is causing you two to drift apart. Now that you know what may be causing you two to drift, the next thing you need to do is talk it out. This may not be the final step for you. You may have many more, but this is the step that starts closing the distance when you feel like you are drifting. Moving in the right direction cannot happen without a conversation. And the conversation has to come from a place of peace and humility. The drift will continue if the conversation is built upon attacks and blame. Talk about each of your contributions to the distance between you. It's not one person's fault or the other. You have to come to a mutual understanding. So if the conversation turns into you do this and you do that, you're headed in the wrong direction. You need to point out things you are doing wrong, and you need to discuss what you're gonna do to fix these issues. All right, so once you've understood the root of the drifting, you've talked it out, and you determine what needs to be done to fix it, the next step to actually make the change is to make the change. You can't just say you're gonna do something without actually doing it. You've heard the saying, actions speak louder than words, and that's where this comes in. You must make changes or you'll never close that gap. And you cannot just make changes to get her off your back. You must make changes that last because your marriage is worth it. Think through new habits for both of you and old habits that may need to be broken. Think through your schedules and routines to see what changes are needed in order to close the distance. Healthy changes are built together and are not one-sided. All right, guys, well, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you found any value in this whatsoever, then please throw me a thumbs up and comment down below with a tip you would recommend to help someone close the gap in their relationship. There are other steps that people can take, and by sharing something that's worked for you, it may help somebody else. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I'm coming at you with different tips and tricks to help you improve your life, and you don't want to miss any of them. And as always, let's keep growing.